What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, I want to do something very, very different. I want to talk about my top 3 gaming disappointments of 2020. So I do want to do more of these top lists. I did a top list of top 5 games I'm anticipating this year, and the reception for it was really, really good. So I truly am grateful and appreciative of you guys watching these videos. I really am so happy a lot of you guys love that video. Make sure you show me if you guys like this one. If you guys want me to do more of these videos, I'm going to try and do them once every week, once every 2-ish weeks, but make sure you guys are leaving the like, leaving a comment, letting me know what your own lists are in the comments below. A lot of you guys left some amazing comments, so I definitely appreciate it. And also to add on to that really quickly before we jump in, I do have a second channel. I'll leave a link for that in the description below. I try to do more experimental videos over there as well, so if you guys like the stuff like this kind of video, I'm going to try and do more of that and more different kinds of things on that second channel. So if you guys want to check it out, subscribe there. It would mean a lot to me. Okay, now these aren't all games. I do want to get that out there in the beginning. I was trying to look through the list of at least games that I've played and say, okay, can I pick the 3 worst games I've played? I don't really think that's fair. I can actually only come up with 2 that I played that I didn't really love all that much. So these are things in the gaming industry. Also games, it can be both. So anything in the gaming industry in general that have been disappointing to me in 2020. Okay, so we're going to start at number 3. We're going to go to number 1. Number 3 was Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind. So this is a game. This is, it's a game that, is it bad? No. Was it disappointing? Yes. It was a game that you spend so much money on. Okay, you spend a good chunk of change on this game, and it was 4 hours. It was replaying the majority of Kingdom Hearts 3. Literally at one of the points that I was playing this game with my wife, she asked me, did you click the main game by accident? Are we replaying the save data of the original Kingdom Hearts 3? And I said, no, I'm pretty sure I clicked on Remind. And, we did a review for it. We did a community series for it. We talked all about this. Kingdom Hearts is a very special franchise to me. Kingdom Hearts means a lot to me. I love Kingdom Hearts. I really do. And I had fun at times with this DLC. The data boss battles at the end, I would never stand a chance in facing them. There is value there. There absolutely is value. But at the same time, the bulk of this game, what you got Remind for, I went in with, I guess, the wrong expectations, and people have defended Nomura, to the moon and back, so I'm not going to go into the different, sides of it. I will just say that I was incredibly disappointed with what we got, not even adding on to the fact that the game was delayed. The DLC was delayed. It was supposed to come out earlier, that it was a pretty hefty price to pay for a DLC, and then it was about 80% replaying what you already played with Kingdom Hearts 3, which I talked to people, even my own sister, who I didn't tell her that, and I said, okay, well, when you play this game, let me know what you think of it, and you know what I mean. And then she played it, and she said, I just played 3. I just replayed the same thing. So I even had people that didn't know what they were getting into going in, and they even said, wow, if I wanted to play 3 again, I would just play 3 again. So based off of all that, I think it definitely is deserving of making this list. The number 2 thing is PlayStation's fall from grace. Now, if you guys have watched the channel, and even if you just do a quick scroll on the channel, I think you'll find that I'm pretty heavily PlayStation, right? I talk a lot about PlayStation. I'm definitely not opposed to talking about Microsoft. I have done that. I talk about Nintendo. So I talk about all the systems, as many games as possible. I try and do exclusives for both those consoles as well. But my primary system is PlayStation. I talk about the PlayStation the most on this channel. I think we have the biggest amount of people that have the PlayStation on this channel versus Microsoft and Nintendo. So again, I'm definitely on Team PlayStation. Not that I'm opposed to any other team, but what we've seen this year from PlayStation has been nothing short, honestly, of a major disappointment. It really all goes back, in my opinion, to when Shawn Layden left the company, which was before. It was before this year, but really since then, it just seems like they've made mistake after mistake after mistake, and they've been small. They haven't ruined the company. I'm not saying that. I'm honestly not saying that. Again, if you guys go on the channel, you'll see, I'm still excited for The Last of Us Part 2. I'm very excited for Ghost of Tsushima. I want the PS5. I'm getting the PS5 day 1, but you can combine The Last of Us Part 2 leaks in this, by the way, because it's PlayStation, right? So The Last of Us leaks, how they've handled the PS5, although I will give them credit, the DualSense controller is amazing. The things we've heard about the PS5 are amazing. It's just that the trickle effect hasn't exactly worked, and it's also a little too spread out, where they're really just not giving us a lot of information. Obviously, this goes up a day before the PS5, reveal event that's now not happening, right? It's canceled. So you have all of this stuff going on, and it just seems like this has been, again, has it been like catastrophic? No. Am I still getting the PS5 day one? Yes. Like, I haven't abandoned Sony, but this year has been tough. I mean, really, if you are going to be like heavily defending them no matter what, I think you still have to admit that 2020 has been pretty rough on PlayStation in general. I really don't think there's any other way of looking at it. Is there a path out of here, right? Is there a path kind of to them retaking the throne? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I have no doubt that it's very possible. The price of the PS5, obviously, and honestly, this list could very much change. This could be number one, depending on, hey, does it come out a week after Xbox Series X? Is it $50 or $100 more than the Xbox Series X? All these things, it can make it even worse, right? Does it not sell as well? Does Series X destroy it in November and December of this year? Take the early lead in the quote unquote console wars? We'll have to see, but all these things added on, it could make it even worse. But definitely, again, like I love Sony. I'm always going to support their products. I want the best, truly, and I have said this in the past for a lot of things. I want the best for everything. I want the best for Series X. I want the best for the Switch. I want the best for the for PlayStation in general, right? PS4, PS5. I want the best for literally any game that comes out. I don't want bad games, right? And I've always given all games a chance. I play all kinds of different genres of games. I play all this different games on different systems, right? I'm a pretty open guy. I really do try and give everything a chance and just want the best for everything. So it's not that I'm picking on Sony specifically. It's not like I'm bagging on them, but things just have not, the luck has not been on their side, and they definitely have made some bad decisions as well. So they are number 2 on my list. Number 1 is Batman Arkham. I think a lot of people would have expected this. And, to be honest with you, if I really put more thought into it, can I make the argument that the PlayStation thing is actually more of a disappointment? Probably. I think the Batman game is more of like compounding all of what we've gone through over the last year. So really, I started talking about Batman back in July of 2018. Okay, that's when I started. That's when I made my first, I believe, actually, I did cover Arkham Knight, but we literally started the channel 2 months before then, so we had 10 subscribers, and the coverage was pathetic. So don't go back and look at what I did for Arkham Knight, because you won't be happy. But I did a video in July of 2018 on Batman. It got a lot of view wise, it did insane, and at the time I wasn't used to that, so I was like, wow, is there something going on? And then in 2019, I really started talking about it. I actually talked about it before E3 of 2019, and then around July or August, I really started picking up and doing these videos, obviously a couple times a week. And again, the reason it's number 1 is because it's just been this charade for me as long as I've started talking about this, and for others, it's been years. I get that I'm actually late on the bandwagon, whereas that by the way, I do want to point that out. That's not to say that I just jumped on liking Batman or supporting or talking about it as of last year, because I've played the Batman games since Arkham Asylum. So I've always liked the franchise, literally since 2 days after that game came out. Remember, I bought that game right after it launched. So it's not like I'm new to the franchise, but talking about it, I get that people that have been talking about it on YouTube have talked about it longer than me and have been stuck in this pit of everlasting despair for a very, very long time. So I do understand that. And that ultimately is why it's number 1, okay? It sucks. It's been so long. We want the new game. There's not even a guarantee this game is going to be really good, right? Warner Bros. Montreal hasn't exactly been the most confidence boosting of companies, right? They've been a company that it very well could come out and actually not be good at all. It could actually suck. We'll have to see. I mean, I'm not going to make any judgments on it until we see it, and ultimately the final one is when we get to play it, right? So that is why it's number 1. At the same time, it's actually been maybe one of the most blessing in disguises thing ever, because we've really built this community together. There's so many of you that are on this channel. I mean, even looking at like a statistic point of view, like not everybody that's joined the channel over the last year has been from Batman, but I can guarantee you that thousands of people are, okay? Now, not every single person, again, maybe half, maybe a little less than half, but we, like you guys have made podcasts now something absolutely incredible, and really has actually, like in a way, changed my life, changed the channel's direction in a lot of ways. So there is so many positives to it. I actually think that if you would have told me this would happen, I would say, yeah, you know what, we can do this all over again a second time. So I do get that. In that way, I actually can make a point that this, the game shouldn't even be on this top list, shouldn't even be in top 1. I totally get that side of it. But at the same time, I have to give credit to it. I know there's probably going to be a lot of people that see a video with a title like this and say, well, I can't imagine Batman not being on the list. Because at the same time, 2020 has been a year that we've gotten some news all kind of, again, like trickled out, not even through Warner Bros. Montreal. It has been quite an interesting year for Batman for sure, but I think the light is at the end of the tunnel for this game. Again, by the end of this year, I think this list could be very different. The PlayStation reveal, PlayStation coming out, Series X coming out, all these games that we still have not got. Maybe there'll be some games that I super pump myself up for, maybe even like Marvel's Avengers, which I definitely see the worries for that game, but maybe that game turns out to be one of like the worst games ever imaginable, and even though my expectations aren't that high for it, I'm still disappointed. So the list could definitely still change. These are just some of the things so far in 2020. What a year 2020 has been so far, right, guys? It's been truly incredible, and again, both positive and negative ways, and I always try to look at the positive side. But again, thought this would be a really, really fun thing, a different thing to do on the channel. Let me know, as always, in the comments below. What do you think? What's your list? What are some gaming disappointments of this year? Maybe there's some games that you guys have gotten yourselves, because again, there's not that many games. In fact, there's only one game on my list, but there's very few games that I bought that disappointed me, but I haven't played every single game that came out this year. So maybe there's some games that you guys have bought that you guys had high hopes for that just turned out to not be good. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed, have that bell icon turned on so you guys know when these videos go up. Again, the second channel will be in the link in the description below if you guys want to check out my second channel. Greatly appreciate all of your support, guys. I hope to see you all on the next video.